Got my alignment marks up top on the camshafts. They're already at 12 o'clock, and I'll show you in a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and pull this pin out of this tensioner. And the belt just got tight when I did that. The tensioner released hydraulic pressure and pushed it up and tightened the belt. So now we're going to recheck our marks. We're good there. We'll come up here and we check these. We're good there. And we are good. Hey, good morning everyone. This is Hayes. Today we're going to be working on a 2003 Acura TL. It has the 3.2 liter motor in it. We're going to be doing a water pump and a timing belt. The water pump is leaking. The water's coming straight out of the vehicle. So we're going to be doing the timing belt at the same time we're doing the water pump, because the water pump is driven by the timing belt. Brand new timing belt. We have the kit, O'Reilly's Auto Parts. We have a new water pump, and we have pulleys as well. All right, first thing we're gonna do, we're going to remove these tires. Got to remove the tires. So let me do that. All right, now how I'm going to do it, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to remove the harmonic balancer, and that's that center nut that holds the harmonic balancer on. I'm going to remove that first. I'm not going to use the special tool this time because not everyone has that special tool. So this is how you do it. If you don't have that tool, you can do this process on any vehicle, but you just got to be careful where this thing is going to swing, because that harmonic balancer is going to swing. I'm going to hit the starter. The starter is what's going to break that nut for me. So I'm going to get it in a good position, and I know that this harmonic balancer is turning clockwise. So that means when it turns clockwise, that wrench is going to remain still, and it's going to break that nut for me. There's a lot of torque in that starter, and that's more than enough to break this nut. On this particular model, the oil filter is right there. I don't know if you can see it. You got to be careful when you do this vehicle with it. I'm by myself, so I'm going to do it this way. I am going to put a rag in between that oil filter and that bar, so it'll guide that bar away from the oil filter. And I'm only going to have to hit this one time. Take a look at it. I'm going to hit the starter. See if it breaks loose. You should only have to hit it one time. Alright, and hopefully I didn't damage the oil filter. I'm pretty sure it came loose. And the oil filter's unscathed. You see that? No problem, okay? You just got to be careful where this is going to swing. All right, and I think it broke loose. It sounded like it did. And it did. All right, so see, it broke it loose. I'm going to go ahead and take that nut off. All right, it's a big time, it's a time saver doing it that way. You just got to be careful. You don't want to have your hands in there either when someone turns the key either. Don't do that. You'll break an arm or break something. So stay clear of that when you turn the key. I'm going to say it again, stay clear of this. Do not put your hands near here or try to hold it. Find another way to hold it, okay? So we got our nut off there. That was a biggie. Now we're going to go up top and we're going to start taking things apart. Probably want to see the position I put that bar in, so let me do that. You see this? I put the bar right in between here because I want this to remain stable, still, and fixed in one position. So I put it on there, I put it in between here, and that way the bar is actually against the frame. Okay, it's not going to hit the CV axle. It's right on the frame. Okay, and I just put the nut on there, and it'll turn. And it'll break that nut loose every time. As long as this pulley is turning clockwise, this procedure will work. Even counterclockwise, it's just going to swing the other way. So, if it's a left bolt or a right bolt. All right, so let's go ahead and begin on the top. We're going to remove the beauty cover. It looks like it's already off. Hell, this is even off. There's nothing holding those down. It makes my job easier. I'm going to start removing this stuff step by step. So let me go ahead and set up the camera and we'll begin. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the belts off this vehicle. Okay, so, and what I'm going to need, or what you're going to need, is a 14mm wrench. And it'd be nice to have a long one. Mine has grew legs and walked away somewhere, so I'm gonna have to use this one. I'm gonna put that on there like so. It's a 14mm wrench. It goes on that pulley just above the air compressor, and there's a little bit of tension on it. So what I can do, or what you can do, what I'm going to do, is I'm going to go ahead and lock another wrench onto this one, okay? Just like that. That way I have more leverage and it's easier to remove the belt, you see? So I'm going to go ahead and do that and take the belt off of this real quick. All right, and then I can very gently relieve the tension. All right, you can get that off. Now the belt is off of there. Okay, so. All right, let's go ahead and start up here. I'm going to go ahead and remove these bolts to this cruise control. All right, I got to take this off because you can't get the harmonic balancer off until you remove that power steering belt, which is right up here. So let me go ahead and remove this so I can get some room to take off the power steering belt. This power steering pump works on an adjuster. There's an adjuster down there. Since I got to take out the motor mount, I'm going to go ahead and take out the motor mount first. Okay, it's just going to be easier for me to do it that way. And let me get my gun. Again, I don't have a lot of time to play around, so I'm going to use air, you guys. And as soon as I locate my gun. Alright, this is the important part of this procedure. The timing marks are already on here, but they do have to line up with these marks, okay? And there's one on the other side too. It has to line up with this mark, and it's back. So I'm going to have to turn the crankshaft pulley just a little bit to line up these marks, okay? I'm going to go ahead and keep you there. And I'm going to turn it from down here with a 19mm. I'll put the nut back on it, the bolt back on it, and I'm going to turn that a little bit until we line up here. And see if you can see it. And that's about right there. All right, and the other side should be aligned. Let me get a good angle on it, and that's aligned. Okay, so now we got our camshafts in time, and the crankshaft keyway. This is the keyway right here. That should be at the 12 o'clock position. With the crankshaft at the 12 o'clock position, our camshaft should line up with the marks. We've got to make sure we install the belt the same way. So that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the tension off the tensioner, which is on this side right over here. It looks like a 14mm. I'm going to go ahead and loosen that up a little bit so I can get the belt off. Install. But since I'm taking off the belt, I'm going to go ahead and take this 14mm bolt off all the way, and that way the belt will just come right off. Use a socket. I broke it loose already, if you remember. I'm going to use a socket and go ahead and take this off. It's always nice to get one of these magnet trays, you know, too, when you're working on cars. So now that I got the bolt out of there, that pulley just comes right off. And I'm going to be replacing this pulley too. I got the whole kit. So I'm going to put the bolt over here. It's that one right there. I'm going to be replacing that tensioner pulley anyways. So now that I got that off, the belt is really loose, and I can go ahead and remove the belt. Okay, so the pulley's tight. This idler pulley is tight. The alignment marks are lined up. If you look down, if you look right there, you'll see a little arrow, and it's lined up to this piece right here. Okay, there's your alignment marks. That arrow and this arrow, or the keyway, is the same line. Where's that keyway at? There it is right there. I'm sorry, this camera right here, this key and that are lined up. So that's in the 12 o'clock position. That's at the 12 o'clock position. All right, and I got my alignment marks up top on the camshafts. They're already at 12 o'clock, and I'll show you in a minute. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull this pin out of this tensioner, and the belt just got tight when I did that. The tensioner released hydraulic pressure and pushed it up and tightened the belt. So now we're gonna recheck our marks. We're good there. We'll come up here and we check these. We're good there. And we are good there too. Okay, so this vehicle is now in time. Everything is tight. We can start reassembling everything. I'm not going to go through the reassembly because just do reverse order and you should be fine. Okay, and that's it. I went ahead and put the harmonic balancer back on because it slips on and off. And I'm going to go ahead and crank it up for you. It should crank up. So let's do that now. I'm just going to run it for like 2 or 3 seconds and I'm going to shut it down. Well, maybe more than that. All right, it starts right up, no problem. I'll give you a peek at it. Hey, Cleo. And there's your timing belt. Now you know there's no noise, everything's running good. We have new pulleys, everything is new on it. So I can go ahead and shut it down and I can be confident that this thing is going to run before I start putting things back together again. Normally this job runs you, if you took it to the dealer, it would run you around maybe $1,100-$1,200 to do this job. I'm significantly cheaper than the dealer, and you get work like I do work. As good or better than the dealer. So here we go. She spent in the neighborhood of $700 all together, parts and labor with me. Not a bad deal, and I changed everything for her. I even bought her a new belt. She didn't have enough money to do a belt, and she needed one, so I bought this for her. She's gonna have to get that leak fixed on the power steering because I don't want any oil. I'm gonna recommend she get that replaced as soon as possible, the power steering hose, which is leaking right there somewhere. And that's a done deal. All right, guys, Hayes Mobile Auto Repair, 601-862-6495. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube, Craigslist, Angie's List. I'm all over the place. All right, y'all. Peace. All right, and the last thing you do is you fill it up with coolant. You put your beauty cover back on and make sure your belts are tight. And that's a done deal, y'all. 2003 Acura TL with a 3.2 V6 in it.